Hello and welcome to all. I hope you all are keeping healthy and doing great. I am Justin D'Souza, your math teacher. Now we will begin with the end of term 3 exam topics. This playlist is for the grade 12 advance. So you have definitely gone through the exam scheme by now. Each of these videos in this playlist will be named and numbered accordingly. So if you click on, say, the video with the name 4 and this topic name, you would get this explanation video. Now, each of these topics are separately made and separately uploaded, so it'll be easy for you to go to any topic you want. So please go to the playlist and click on play all, so all of them will be played accordingly. One more thing, please go and watch this videos in continuity. What I mean is, if you start with one and go to the next one and then so on. Start with the part one and then move to the part two. The part one are the easy questions. This will, solidify your base of understanding. And then when you do the part two, it'll be much easier. So don't directly jump to the topics, go accordingly. And few things about this exam scheme: the part A questions each carry 3 marks, whereas the part 2, each of them carry 5 marks. And these will be in Swift Assess, so they are online. You will have multiple choice questions. You will have 4 options basically. Whereas third part will carry 6 to 7 marks each, and even the bonus is included over here. They're all in writing, so you need to detail each step in writing and then solve them up. These two bonus would be anything what you have studied throughout your term 3. So now in the next video onwards, we will start with the first topic. So please do stay tuned. I will be uploading the videos as soon as I can. And if you have found it helpful, please do subscribe to my channel and do share it among your friends, whoever will find it useful. Happy learning and all the best for your coming exams. Welcome to the first explanation video of the end of term 3 exam topics. It is area between curves. The first topic over here is to find the area between two curves using definite integration. Now, definite integration means you need to know the limits, apply and solve. So we will see how to do it. But before we go to the problem, let's see the formula which will be used. Now, area between two curves. Let one curve be y equals f of x and another curve g of x. These are the limits a to b. You need to use this formula from a to b. A is the lower limit to the upper limit. The function f of x minus the other function g of x dx. Now, which function minus which other function? It's always the upper function minus the lower function. For example, this is the upper function, right? You need to subtract this function from the lower function. That's it. So up minus down, top divided minus the bottom. That's it. So now here we have the problem like this. Find the area bounded by the graphs of y equals 3 minus x and y equals x square minus 9. Now, sometimes, most of the time, there won't be the graph given to you. So you need to draw graph. You need to have basic knowledge of graph. Now, I will just tell you 3 important graphs, that is linear, square root, that is parabola, and the cubic graph. If you have y equals x, or if you have y equals minus x, here the power is 1. If it's positive, the graph goes upwards because it's positive slope, whereas negative means it's going downwards. This is x and y axis, this is x and y axis. So the graph is upwards and this is downwards. So this is about linear graph. Now let me draw the parabolas. Now what does parabola mean? It's just that the power over here will be 2. It's squared. And even over here, when you are positive, it's upwards, it goes upwards like this. When it's negative, it goes downwards, it opens upwards. And when it's positive too, it open upwards. Negative means over here it goes downwards. So this is the difference over here. Now the next thing, see, look, whenever you have x squared, only x squared, it's upwards like this graph. Whereas there is minus x power 2, then it will be downwards. And the last one is cubic. So cubic is power 3 and over here power 3. So whenever there is positive cubic graph, the right side will go upwards and the left side goes downwards. Whereas the end behavior changes when it's negative, so the left side goes upwards and the right side goes downwards. This is the only difference. There's nothing else. So if you know these basic graphs, it's very, very helpful. Now over here, you might be thinking, what is this plus 3 or minus 3 and all these extra terms? Now look at this. What is the graph over here? It's minus x, isn't it? So minus x means it goes downwards. Now you can see this number is the y-intercept. That's plus 3. So at plus 3, it will be shifted. It will be translated at over here. The y-intercept is at 3. So this would be the first graph. Now what about this one? X square minus 9. You know, x square graph is like this, but it's minus 9. We'll touch over here. So it'll be at 9 over here. So it'll open upwards at 9. The graphs are very rough sketches. You should just the basic knowledge is more than enough. Now it'll be something like this, you know, the graphs. From the basic knowledge of graph, it'll intersect over here and somewhere over here. I have no idea, but we have methods to solve for it. So this would be the graph, somewhat like this. And you can see the graph. It does not match accurately. I don't have any answers, but approximately I could draw them. So you can see the upper function is 3 minus x, whereas the lower function is x square minus 9. I hope you're clear with the graphing, because if you do not graph, it is not possible for you to understand which is the upper function and which is the lower function. If you do not find that, you are not able to solve the problem. Now, here, you need to analyze the graph, check the upper function and the lower function. Then how do you find these points of intersections? If the graph is not there, you're drawing a rough graph, you won't get the accurate answers. So how would you do it? The points of intersection means these two functions are equal at that point. You can see intersecting means both the graphs touch at that point. Whereas at where the x values and the y values are same for both the functions. So what does it mean? The y values over here, even the x, but mainly y values are same, right? So it means y equals y, because it's very hard to change the x, and also consider y is equal to y. So equate these two equations. 3 minus x equals x square minus 9. Now how would you solve it? You need to just bring it to the other side, minus x to the other side. It'll be plus x. So x squared plus x, and 3 to the other side will be minus 9 minus 3. It'll be negative 12. And now you can put it in the calculator and solve. If you're thinking how I got this, it's very simple. You need to go to mode, phi, and 3. Put it in the calculator, the coefficients. Before x squared, it's 1. Before x, it's 1. And lastly, we have negative 12. So the answer is 3 and negative 3. That's the answer. So this is how we find the intersection point, which matches over here. They are at minus 4 and 3. So these are the limits. Basically, they are the limits. And then we have the functions, the upper function and lower function. So now you have to just substitute the values in the formula and solve. This is the formula which we have been through. All you need to do is substitute. Upper function f of x is 3 minus x. Lower function x square minus 9. The lower limit is negative 4. It starts with the lower limit to the upper limit until 3. All you did is substitution. Now, you can't solve it using formula, but since this is in part A, you can directly use the calculator. Just press the symbol and put it in the calculator. It's 3 minus alpha x minus alpha x squared minus 9. Close the bracket. And the limits are from minus 4 until 3. And that is the answer. 343 by 6 or 57.1666. So now over here, you can use extra brackets, but once you open a bracket, be careful to close it. Be extra cautious with the brackets, because if you miss a simple thing in the bracket, your answer will be wrong and you will not know it. So this is very important. So this is the answer. And now, if you want to solve manually, you need to simplify this and then use integration and then apply the limits and solve it. The answer will be the same. Area is 57.17 units. Since this is definite integrals, it's better to save time by using calculator. Now you can see there are a few more questions over here. Same concept. Draw the basic graph. Say now here square root graph. It's something like this. If it is magnitude, it will be like this. So basic graphs, exponent graphs. Check them all by yourself. Try them by yourselves. Do not look into the answers directly. Attempt few problems at least, just like how I've solved. Just attempt these. Equate these two equations. Put it in the calculator. Solve it. And then you can check all the answers, the solved solutions, the methods, and also these graphs are being mentioned over here. So each and every problem solution is mentioned. It's just the upper function minus the lower function and directly put it in the calculator. It's all direct in calculator because it's definite integrals. So you can just look into the answers one by one and do check your answers. So that is about the first topic. Please stay tuned for the next topics and the coming videos. And please double check your graphs as well. See now here the graph. Uh, Now one more thing is you do not need to draw the entire graph. One good question over here. See the thing is you should just know the basic knowledge. Magnitude. It's sharp like this. Now what about this rational function? Okay, you do not need to know the exact graphing, just the basic knowledge. You know this will go down. So this is somewhere over here, the 2, right? It starts from here and then it reduces. So you know this is the upper function for sure. So all you need to do is find the intersection points. So equate it. And over here there are two terms because over here until this point, this is reducing. The slope over here is reducing, so it's minus x until 0. So from minus 1 to 0, this function is upper function minus lower function, so it will be minus of minus x. Whereas over here it's positive x, so upper function minus lower function will be just minus x. So this is the thing. When you solve it in steps, you'll realize this until 0 is a separate function. The answer is negative x. Why? Whenever a linear function, when it comes down, it's minus x. When it goes up, it's positive x. The slope is positive. That's why we have two things, and then it's direct. You don't need to do all these derivations. You can just put this in calculator and you'll directly get this answer. Okay, now what happens is you will have an answer which is say in values like 0.54 or 64, okay? But your answer will be somewhat in ln or pi by 3. You will have four options, which is none of that is 0.64. All you need to do is solve it up, okay? Solve it up. Now, this will be 0.57, I believe. What I mean is, now pi by 2, shift pi divided by 2 minus 1. So this is how you solve it. It'll be 0.57. Your answer, whatever you get, will be directly 0.5707. So that is how you can easily solve this. And please do check the answers after you solve by yourselves. Now we move on to the second topic. Before we start this topic, I've asked you to watch the first video explanation. If you have not yet watched it, please pause this, go back and watch all the videos in continuity. We have seen the same thing in the first video, that is area between curves. We have come across this formula again and it's a similar topic. I'll tell you what's the difference between the topic 1 and 2 in a while. The formula is from the lower limit a to upper limit b, the upper function minus the lower function. That's the answer. That's the formula. So upper function is anything that's up and lower function is the one below. A to b is the limits, smaller lower limit to greater limit. Now here the problems will be given like this, but you will be given the definite integration. So all the problem will have this, the integration where you need to take the limits will be mentioned. So it is very, very easy. You do not need to find the points of integration. You do not need to solve for it. You have to just input this as A and B. So your job is much easier now. Only thing is you need to sketch the graph. Sketch the graph by basic knowledge of graphs. You need to understand which is the upper function and the lower function. It won't be like this. Now I'll draw the graph over here. Now x and y axis. So let me try to get it straight. Okay, somewhat better. Now it's minus x squared, so it'll be down, but plus 2, so it'll be something like this. And over here we have just x squared, so it'll be something like this. So from 0 to 1 where it intersects. So you do not need to know the exact graph, just 0 to 1. Over here at 0, just see at 0 what is the upper function. It is x squared. And what is the, sorry, 2 minus x squared is the upper function. And what is the lower function? It is x squared lower. That's it. Now, if you know that, you can just substitute in the formula and solve. The formula is over here f of x minus g of x dx. Put it over here. 2 minus x squared is the upper function, lower function. Put it in the calculator and directly you will get the answer. That is integral. Open the brackets. 2 minus alpha x squared minus x squared. Now, minus x squared. And the limits are from 0 to 1. And the answer is 4 by 3, or it's 1.33 units square. That's over here, 4 by 3 units square. Unit square because the area is in square. So this is how you solve it. Similarly, you have the limits over here. Please do follow whatever was just now told. You need to know the basic knowledge of graph, and then you will easily understand it. So if you have solved the problems in the topic 1, this must be very, very easy. You can see all the all the explanations over here. All the steps are also mentioned over here. So please go through them, solve it by yourself, and then check the answers over here. The third topic is on finding the volume by definite integration using area of cross sections. This is also called volume by slicing. We use this formula where volume is integral from a to b, integration of what? Area with respect to dx. So we will see a problem. You'll understand how easy it is. Now, for example, you have been given the area x plus 2. And they have given the definite integration, definite integrals as well, -1, and x varies from -1 to 3. So all you need to do is substitute the values in the formula. The formula is integral a to b a of x dx. Now here a of x is given, that is x plus 2. And remember the lower limit to the upper limit. All you need to do is use the calculator. Since it's definite integral, use the symbol. Open the bracket, x plus 2, close the bracket dx, and -1 to +3. And that will be the answer. That's 12 unit cubes, because volume is in terms of cube, unit cubes. If it is given as meter, it will be meter cube, or so on. It will be in power 3. So that is the answer. Similarly, please do try these by yourselves. They are very, very simple and straightforward. These are the remaining questions from your exam scheme. Now you can see all the answers are there. It's very, very straightforward. The first one I had done for you. You can use the integration formula, or you can use the calculator method or the integration formula. It's up to you, whichever is easy. All the part 1 and part 2, you will have 4 options. So whichever you find easy. If the calculator is easy, just do it. So then over here, same way, you can see all the answers, and that's that. Now, one thing about this or this, option 2 or 3, the answer is coming in terms of 56 pi by 3. Now, whenever you solve it in your calculator, you will never have this as the answer. Your answers will be in decimals. So now what happens is 56 pi divided by 3 would mean it is, I'll just type it again, 56 pi, that is shift and over here, divided by 3 is, by pressing ST, it's 58.64. So you will have 58.64 in your calculator, but the answer won't be in any of the options because your options will be in terms of pi. All you need to do is simplify all of them, put it in your calculator and press ST. You might have 4 options, only one will be the correct option. So write the answer. So first option might be 60.7. Next one would be 38.4. And then when you put the correct answer, only you will get the correct answer, that is 58.64. So what you must do is, once you use this integral symbol and solve it, you will get the answer in decimal, write it somewhere, and then solve all the questions, all the 4 question options, and then check your answers. That is how you easily solve this up. The fourth topic is to find the arc length in a given interval using definite integration. Definite integration means the limits will be given. Arc length is given by this formula over here. The arc length equals limit from a to b square root of 1 plus f dash of x the whole square dx. Now this is a very important term. F dash means it's the derivative. So we need to find the derivative of the given function and then substitute it. The formula is very straightforward. Let's do a few problems. Here they have asked to find the arc length for this particular equation y equals sine x with 0 to pi. X is from 0 to pi. Now how do we solve? First and the foremost thing is to differentiate. Whenever it comes to arc length or surface area, you have to differentiate. Now, don't get confused with integrals. Differentiation is sign will be cos, just cos. Okay, it's positive cos x. Whereas if it was integral, it would be minus, uh, sign would be minus cos. So that's the thing. You need to differentiate between differentiation and integrals. It's very crucial. Now, once you have done the differentiation, note the limits. The lower limit a is the a, that is 0, and upper limit b is pi. And now you can use the formula of arc length and solve it. The formula for arc length is given over here. You have to memorize this formula. This is a simple formula, and even the surface area, which will come in the coming videos in the part B, is again very simple. Only 2 pi will be added over here. So now 0 to pi, now we solve it, just substitute it, and you can directly do it in the calculator. Now some of you, not many, some of you might not get the correct answer. Let me clear my calculator and I will do it as it is. Integral square root 1 plus cos alpha x the whole square. I need to put the bracket, square it, and the limit is from 0 to pi. 0 to pi. And now when I press equal to, I'm getting 4.44, but over here it's 3.83. What is the problem? Now the thing is, here we need to change the mode to radian. If you're getting this 4.44, that's not right because it's in degrees. You need to change to radian, shift, mode, and 4. And now you will get the correct answer, that is from radian mode. Now, you can even get it in degrees, but it's a long procedure because you need to convert it to, again, pi. You need to divide by 180, convert to radian, and then, there's a procedure to do it. Instead of that, from 4.44 to convert to radians, it'll take time. So directly set the mode to radian and you can easily get the answer. So please remember, press shift, mode, and 4 whenever you have trigonometric functions when you're using the calculator. So that's it. Now that's the answer. So similarly, now please do this by yourself. Pause the video, do it by yourself, and then look for the answers. Don't directly jump for the answers. Try solving by yourself. It's very simple. Derive this, put it in the formula. These are the limits over in calculator. Now, if they have given you the directly, you can easily do it. So try this. Try all of this and then check the answers. All the answers are shown over here. So these are the answers. Now we move on to the fifth topic, that is to compute integrals using direct computation and rules. This basically means we are using definite integrals. So we can directly use our calculator and solve these problems. But before that, let us just go through the basic integration formulas. These are very useful for the coming topics and most crucial in the part B section. Now we will just go through basic rules, basic formulas which must be known. That is the power rule. If you have, say, for example, x to the power 3, always remember you need to add the power up, add the power and divide it by the added power, that is 4. And don't forget to write the constant. The thing is, integration is opposite to derivatives. So whenever we derive any constant, it becomes 0. So now if I had to derive, say, x to the power 4 divided by 4 plus 3, it would have been 4 comes down. This is derivation I'm doing, f dash, and it'll be x to the power 3 divided by 4, and this 3 becomes 0, and this cancels, and you're getting x to the power 3. So this is derivation of the answer. You get x to the power 3. When you integrate, you won't get that because we cannot integrate. But so that's why we write C, because look over here, the 3 is dissolved to 0. We do not know exactly which constant. Even if I add instead of 3, say 10, it would be 0. So the C means any constant number. It can be any number. So that is the thing. So these are inverse of each other. When you integrate something, you will get the answer, and when you derive, sorry, I'll tell it again. When you derive one thing, whatever the answer you get, when you integrate that answer, you should get the derivative of the question. It's basically inverse of each other. So that's about power rule, and that's about C as well, the constant. And now few of the basic formulas. 1 by x dx. See, it's like opposite to what is derivative. If you have remembered the derivative formulas, then these integral formulas will be easy because they are similar to it. 1 by x dx is natural logarithm magnitude of x plus c. Now sine, cos, secant, and tan, and cosecant square, and cosecant and cot, they are similar to the derivatives, but there is few things you must remember. Whenever you integrate something and the answer is starting with it can be cosine, cotangent, or cosecant, you must add a negative sign. If it is sine or tangent or secant, it's fine, just write it as it is, no need of the negative sign. Whichever has will have, or whichever has c will have a negative sign over here. And then there are a few more formulas about exponential, that is as it is, but if it's minus, remember to add the minus sign down from chain rule. And then we have over here the inverse trigonometric function formulas. These are also very important. You need to remember this. Whenever there is no square root, it's just 1 plus x squared, it's tan inverse, whereas sine inverse has square root and it's 1 minus x squared. Whereas if it's secant, then you have magnitude x times x squared comes first minus 1. Now let's look into the problem. There are only two problems in this topic 5, and they are very, very easy because all you need to do is definite integrals. So you need to just put this and write the problems as it is, square root x alpha x minus 3, and write the limits appropriately. It starts with 3 and goes up till 4, and press equal to sign. It might take some time, but it will definitely give you answer after a few seconds. The answer is 2.4. And you can use the formulas and solve for the same answer. Here you're getting 12 by 5. Don't worry, because 12 by 5 is the same thing. If you divide 12 by 5, you're going to get 2.4. So sometimes you may not get, your answers will be in decimal generally. You may not get the fraction, or say in terms of pi, you may not get the answers. So look into the 4 options, because this topic 5, you will have 4 options. Solve them and compare to the decimal form. Same way over here, just use the definite integral symbol and type the values. X times x minus 3, the whole square, and the definite integral starts from 0 to 1 plus equal to, and the answer is 11 by 4. Here it's in fraction form. So this is how you can easily solve definite integral problems. In the next video, we will solve the 6th topic. Topic 6 is also on computing integrals. Now over here, you need to use the formula or rules. You cannot use your calculator. Again, we will go through the formulas quickly. If you're directly coming to this video, please pause the video and go back to the previous video of the topic number 5, where we explain the formulas. I hope you remember the power rule, 1 by x, the trigonometric functions. These are all the formulas. You can pause the video now and just glance through this and memorize them again. And then we have more of them. OB exponential, tan, inverse functions. So these are all the formulas, the basic ones. Now you have a problem over here where you need to integrate sine ax dx for a is not equal to 0. Why? Because if a is equal to 0, entire function becomes 0. So what it says is the constant is something, some value. It's a constant value other than 0. It can be 2, 3 or anything. How do we solve it? So we need to know which formula we can use. We know sine x dx is minus cos x dx plus c. But now this is just the formula, but we cannot do it because x is the, over here, look carefully, we don't have just x. If it was only x, we can use this formula, but we have a constant value that is ax. So what do we do now? We need to do u substitution. So u substitute over here, you do the u substitution at ax instead of the ax, because there are two terms. We do not have formula for two terms. Just substitute u to be ax and then derive this. Du by dx would be just a, because the derivation of any constant with a term, x term or x squared, the a constant will remain as it is and only the derivation over here. Derivation of x is 1, so you're remaining with du by dx equals a. Then what do? Just take this dx to the other side and bring the a to the other side. So now you know what is u and you know what is dx. Why do we need this dx in terms of du? Because now you can substitute instead of ax as sine, ax as u, but still you're remaining with dx. You can't integrate when you have the function in terms of u and integral in terms of dx. These are two different things. It's not possible. It must be same variable. So that is why now over here, what you need to do is find dx in terms of du. Now just substitute everything and solve. That is, sine ax becomes u because we have assumed ax to be u. And from u we can find out dx in terms of du. It'll be du by a. Now this is a constant 1 by a. Remove that out. Remove 1 by a out. And what remains? Sine u du. Now you can use this formula. Instead of x we have u. It will become minus cos u plus c. And 1 by a is outside. Now this is the answer. It is minus 1 by a cos u plus c. So that is the answer for this particular question. Now here you need to remember one important thing. Whenever you have constant, it will be, when you do the substitution, the u substitution, it will go out as the fraction 1 divided by the constant. And then let's just look at these. There are many over here. I'll just pick these sine over here, sine or cos. Now if you're doing the cos, all you need to remember is, what is the cos formula? This is the shortcut. What is the cos formula? Cos is just sine, so it'll be sine x plus c. But don't forget, you need to have this constant 1 by a out. You can do the u substitution and check the answers as well. Now here you can see the answer. 1 by, okay, I've forgotten one important thing over here. Let me just go back. You need to resubstitute back the given formula. So, okay, I hope this much is clear. Now, just one important thing which you must remember, guys. I'm glad that I made the mistake, because so that you don't make the same mistake in the exam. Now, this is not the final answer. You need to substitute it back. What is u? We have assumed u to be ax. So it is cos ax plus c. So this is your final answer. Remember, always what is given, it's not sine x, it is ax. So substitute that back. U is equal to ax. You need to resubstitute back, and this is your final answer. I apologize, I missed that step out, but I'll be adding it soon. So this is the thing. So that would be the final answer. Now over here, same thing. Whenever there is a constant, 1 by a is out. And remember, it will be sine, not x, it will be ax plus c. So this would be the answer. Now what about this? It will be 1 by 6. Since it's sine to cos, it will be minus. And you will have cos 6t plus c. So directly you can get the answers. Let's just double check them. So 1 second, I'll come back to these. You can see over here, minus 1 by 6 and so on. Now, what about the secant and tan? You know the secant and tan formula is just secant, right? So all you need to do is 2. The A value is 2. It should be same. So it'll be 1 by 2 secant 2t plus c. And similarly, you can solve the others. Over here, you can directly use the square formula and you can solve. They are very straightforward. And now over here, these ones in the next topic, the topic number 7 is again the same topic. It's again 1 to 10, just 2 more problems. So we will see them in the next video. But for now, you can see this. This is belonging to secant. It is sine. So what you must do is you must remember the formula, which is the sine formula, and then you need to solve it up. Over here, I'm sorry, this is another error. This is not there. This is for this problem. These are not for this. This is the answer over here. So because 1 by root of 1 minus x squared is sine inverse. So you must remember sine inverse will be the answer. But what happens is, look over here, there is a square. Instead of 1, we have a constant. So all you need to do is divide by x divided by the constant. Anyway, when we do u substitution, you will get this anyways. And over here as well, this is secant, right? So this is very straightforward. This is the problem. Sorry, this b over here. Now, and there is a over here. So you must remember, when you integrate b divided by this problem over here, since the b is on the top, that does not make any difference. Whenever you're multiplying anything, you just remove it out. So you can remove this out, it's fine. But what about this a? Remember, this a will be x divided by a. Don't worry if you have not understood these inverse problems, because in the next video again we will continue the same problems, same things. We will look into that over there. But for now, the simple problems, use the formula and solve. So over here, all the answers are solved. Please do check them, but do it by yourself and then check the answers. Again, we are back to the similar topic. In fact, it's the same topic, not even similar. Only thing is, we will look into different type of problems in this. Basic integration formulas, we have already seen them. Power rule, 1 by x, trigonometry functions. You can pause the video, go through them. Now we'll move on. Then we have inverse functions, and these are the formulas. Again, you can pause them and you can quickly go through them. Now we will see a problem where you will have problems with square and stuff. Now again, it is over here you need to first understand which formula is required. When you look at this, you will know that's tan inverse formula. But tan inverse formula is 1 by 1 plus x squared. There is a squared, that's constant term, is bothering because that is not supposed to be there. So what do we do now? Anyways, this is the formula to use. Now rewrite the equation to, you should rewrite this to the above form. We need to get this. How do we rewrite? We should remove this a square, right? Let's remove the a square out. How do we remove it? Let us multiply and divide by a square over here. Basically, this is 1, isn't it? If you multiply by 2 and divide by 2, it's 1. So you won't make any difference with this original function. So that's fine. You're just manipulating this a square and a square. Now, this is important. You will just multiply the denominator. Why? Because this gets 1, isn't it? Whereas this remains, and all you're doing is multiplying just the denominator. Now, all you need to do is cancel this out. A square becomes 1, and this, take it out, it's in the denominator, so it'll be 1 by a square, integral 1 by 1 plus x by. Now this is another crucial thing, x by a the whole square dx. I just realized I've just repeated the same step. Sorry, there's nothing new in this. You do not need to write that. Now, after this, it's directly over here. Over here, you have just written the square outside because both are square, so bracket square. Now it is similar to this, isn't it? 1 by 1 plus. Instead of x, we have x by a. That's fine. You can do the u substitution. Take u as x by a. Now integrate this. Du by dx, over here x will be 1 by a. Take dx to the other side, and over here comes a. It'll be a du equals dx. Now substitute over here. It'll be 1 by 1 plus. Instead of x by a, you need to put u square a du. A and a cancels, the a square and a cancels, so you're remaining with 1 by a, 1 by 1 plus u square du. Remember, this is tan inverse formula for u. But we are not over. This is tan inverse u, but what did we substitute u as? X by a, so we resubstitute it back, and this is the answer. So this is how we get this answer. So now over here in these problems, you can see all this. Just do the same thing and then you can easily solve it. Please try it by yourselves and then do it. Or you can find the pattern. In the last video, I was talking about the patterns. Now look over here. Whenever you have a square over here, what do? Understand which is this formula. 1 by root of 1 square 1 square minus x square is sine inverse formula. All you need to do is add this x by a. Why? Because in order to remove this, you have to divide over here by a square. So u will be x by a. So that's it. That's the simple thing. Sorry, again over here there is the error. Over here you can see this is about secant inverse, and you can go through it by yourself. You can find the similarity and patterns. If you do not understand the patterns, if you're getting too much confused, it's fine. You can just use the long method, that is the u substitution, and you'll definitely get the correct answer. So please go through all these and directly you can get this answer. So now over here, this is very simple. Why? Because you're just removing the 4 common out and then you're simplifying, So you can just remove this common terms out, and then over here also see 2 is removed out, and over here 4, it will be 1 by 2, then 1 by, let me just do it. So it will be 2 outside and 4 is removed common out. So what is remaining? 1 by 1 plus x squared dx. So I hope you understand this. 1 by 2 tan inverse x plus c. So this is how we get it. Now, whichever method is easy, comfortable, just use that and you can easily solve it. Don't come to this video directly. Please watch them in continuity, because the video number 5, 6, and 7 are on the same topic, same page number. It's almost the same. Sorry, 6 and 7 are exactly the same, whereas 5 is similar to this. The 8th topic is to integrate trigonometric functions. Before we begin this topic, let us quickly run through a few of the basic trig function formulas. Starting from Pythagorean trigonometric identity, it is sine square x plus cos square x, and just by moving cos and sine to the other side, we get these. Similarly, we have secant square x minus tan square x equals 1. Moving around, we can get the other two. Similarly, over here, these are the basic ones. Double angle identities, you might have remembered. Sine 2x is 2 sine x cos x. And similarly, this x can be theta or x. Generally, it depends on situations. Over here, your questions generally will be in x, in terms of x. So then these over here are very important integration identities. Here, you have definitely come across this many times in this term. One important thing I want to point out is whenever your answer is cos, you will have a negative sign. You can see over here this negative, negative, negative. Whereas if it is sine, integral of cos x is sine x, doesn't matter. When the answer is cosine or cotangent or cosecant, you will have a negative sign. And you can pause the video over here and quickly go through the formula, memorize them, and then now we will move on to the problems. Evaluate cos to the power 4x sine x. Before we continue, I just want to make this one thing clear. Cos 4 to the power 4x is equal to, in calculator if you're using it, it'll be cos x the whole power 4. Okay. Now, When do you square x? That is only when it is cos x to the power 3, for example. Then it is x3. Okay, it is cos x3. Sorry for my writings. Okay, now it's x3. So I hope this is clear. Whenever it is cos 4x, you will have whole power 4, whereas when it is to the power x to the power 3, it is only to the x. Now we will see this problem. Here you need to do u substitution. But how do you choose which u? What do you do? Look carefully. Cos to the power 4. You can directly you just can't directly assume you need to think a bit, because in some problems you need to do comparative analysis, and then comparative I mean you need to compare what happens, the consequences, and then select the appropriate u. Say for example you take u over here, it'll be u to the u as cos over here, it'll be u to the power 4, and then derivative of cos is sine, and it'll come down. You can cancel the sign. The sign will dissolve, so you will have only u to the power 4. Let us see this. If you choose u to the power u is equal to cos x, derive this now. Du by dx is negative sine x. We don't care about the sign. We just want this gone. Now, what is dx? Dx is du by sine x, but this minus sign. So now you can substitute back over here in the question. See, instead of this cos to the power 4x sine x, we can write u to the power 4. Sine x remains for now, but dx is negative du by sine x. Now the sine x and cancels, right? So what are you remaining with? It's negative integral u to the power 4 du. Don't forget u is substituted as cos, so substitute that back. It will be negative cos to the power 5x by 5 plus c. So this is the answer. Now, this is the substitution, u substitution. There is a shortcut method as well. There is a direct calculator method. You can follow the link below in the description. You can get more detailed and more types of problems in that. But now I will do a couple of problems with the calculator method over here. You have been given integral of this particular thing and you have found the integral. Now, before going to the calculator method, let me make make you understand better. Now, if you have 3x square, what is going to happen? Integrate this. The answer would be integral 3x square. Now 3 remains. Let me integrate this 3 as it is. X square becomes to the power 3 divided by 3. You raise the power by 1. And then you write plus c because it's a constant. And now this cancels. What is remaining? X cube plus c. Now, if you derive this, you must get the question back, right? Let's derive this now. 1 second. Let's quickly derive over here. It will be d by dx. That is dy by dx. This is the derivative. It will be 3x square. Now, it doesn't matter which constant it is. Let it be 10, 20 or any number. It will become 0. So, you're remaining with 3x square. Now, once you integrate, you will get some answer. That is x cubed plus 3c. But when you derive this, you will get back the question. So there is a relationship between integral and derivative. That is very basic and common. You know that there is a relationship between integral and derivative. But if you do definite integral and definite derivative, also there is a relationship. Now I will tell you what it is. Take your calculator. Over here, all you need to do is assume some x value. Now what do you do? Assume some x value. It can be any value, but you must be careful. If it's a rational function, don't make the denominator 0. Say for example you have 2 minus x. Don't make the x as 2 because this will become 0 undefined. You can't solve it. Now over here, since it's trigonometry, you need to make it in radian first. Shift, mode and 4. Now I will assume a x value of anything like 5. Okay, let me go with 5. You can choose any. Don't choose big values. It will take a lot time to calculate. It's better to go with 2, 3. But over here, just for, I'm just taking 5 anyways. You can change this and try. You will get the same answer again. Now over here in the first step, just put the x value in this given equation. Not the integral, not this symbol, no, just this as it is. Cos, instead of x, you just put phi. The whole power 4. Use the brackets appropriately, or you need to know the powering must be accurate. Now we are sine x is phi. The answer is it's a negative 6.208, and it goes on into 10 to the power minus 3. So it is 1, 2, 3. So it is 0, negative 0.00628 and so on. But anyways, this is there, so it's fine. Now save it. This works only when you have options, and since this is in part A, and even if it's in part B, you can do this method because you will have options. Only in writing problems this won't be applicable. You need to have you need to know the answers. You will have 4 options. So what you need to do is just consider any one of the option, and you need to try this try this method. Now over here we have the answer, so I'll directly consider this. You need to do definite derivatives, that is shift and the symbol, you get this dy by dx. Now at the x you need to derive. I'll just type this negative cos to the power phi, negative cos alpha x, close the bracket, and to the power raised to the power phi divided by phi. Over here you do not need to write c because c is a constant, it will be 0, so you can ignore that. And now what is the x value? We solve for phi, don't change that, please use the same phi, and now solve, it will be exactly the same. Now over here, if you write any constant, say any constant number, it'll be the same answer. It does not change. Why? Because the derivative of the constant will be 0. So it doesn't make a difference. If it's a small or a big number, it's the same. But now, if I even change a little bit over here, instead of 5, let it be 3. The answer is entirely different. Or let this 5 be the same. Let me just change the power over here. Say instead of 5, let it be 4. The answers are all different. Instead of cos, let me put 2 cos. This was 5. See, the answer is different. Only for the exact answer, whenever is the accurate correct answer, when you do the x value, only that will give you the same answer. So you need to do this method for all the 4 options. Whenever you get the same answer, stop it, that's your answer. You can check it for all 4. You can see 3 will give you inaccurate answer, whereas only 1 will give you the exactly correct answer. So this is the shortcut method. Now I will do over here, these are all basic direct definite integrals. Now cos and sine we did, but what about cot and cosecant? It's the same. Let me do this one over here. Sorry, let me go back. This is the answer. Now there is an error in this answer. It should be minus cot cube x by 3. It's negative u cube by 3. You can do this method and you can see there will be negative sign, but this negative is missed over there, so I've just written it over there. Now you need to again assume a x value. You can assume anything. I'll take, say for example, 3 or 2. It's up to you. You will get the same answer. Even if you take 0.5, you can try it. You will get the same answer. Now what do you do? Over here, cot is not there, but we know cot is 1 by tan. So put 1 divided by tan. Just whatever we did now, just a while ago. Put the value 2 and square this up. Multiply it with, what is cosecant? It is 1 by sine. 1 divided by sine, 2, and square it up again. Okay, if it was secant, it is 1 by cos, and cosecant is 1 by sine. Now what is the answer I'm getting? It's nearly a quarter. So all I need to do is write this. I just double check. Yes, it's all right. Now I will write the answer 0.2533. Okay, now all you need to do is definite derivative of this particular answer. Dy by dx, it is negative. Now over here, you need to write 3 bottom, yes, but what is cot? It's 1 by tan. So again use this, write 1 by tan x. Don't directly put the value 2. No, you need to put x over here because otherwise you can't solve it. And don't write the plus c because that will be 0. Doesn't matter. Now press 2. The answer. Okay, what did I do wrong? I have not cubed it. Sorry. because the answer will be definitely same. I know for sure. So I got a different answer. I know some error I've done over here. So it is power 3, which I forgot. Now let me press equal to. It'll be the exact same answer. Now, when you are doing it in the exam, please be accurate. Don't miss anything. Double check. Do it accurately, because now I knew this is the correct answer, so it should match. But in your case, you'll have four options. Make sure you do it accurately. If none are the answers, then that means you've not done it accurately. So this is the shortcut method. If it is, cot or tan, it's fine. You can just do this by using 1 by tan or 1 by sine and so on. All the answers are solved. You can pause the video and solve it by yourself and then check the answers. Try solving it by yourselves. So these are the answers over here. So this is it. Now, your definite integrals you can directly do directly in the calculator, but otherwise you can do the other calculator method as well. The ninth topic is to integrate rational functions using partial fractions. Here, let us look into partial fraction expansion at the beginning, and then we will see how to integrate it. Now, imagine you have a rational function like this. It's in fractions. Now, you can see the numerator is lower than the denominator. So then, in this particular topic 9, you generally will have such problems. What you need to do is basically, you need to simplify this in terms of two terms, because there is no formula which you can solve the denominator from. So all you're doing is splitting this denominator. You can use the calculator, or you can find the factors and do it. If you're using the calculator to split, it is mod 5 and 3, and then you need to put the coefficients 1, -1 and -2. Now over here your values are 2 and -1. But remember that is x is equal to 2, x is equal to -1. When you write it in terms of factors, it'll come inside. So it is x minus 2, x plus 1. So these are the factors. You bring it inside, and these are the factors: x plus 2, x plus 1, and x minus 2. And now you will have to get two terms which are equal to this. Now you might be confused about this at once. Let me make it a bit easier. Now imagine, say 5 by 8. Okay, this 5, no, okay, that's a bit hard, but I'll write two terms and then. Now let me take, for example, 3 by 5 plus 2 by 7. Okay, these are two factors. Now let me add them up. 3 by 5 plus 2 divided by 7. What is the answer? It is 31 divided by 35. So the answer is 31 divided by 35. What I'm trying to say over here is, this is 31 by 35. You can see this can be written as 31 by divided by, instead of 35, I can write 5 into 7. So similarly, we have over here, this is a term which we do not know, but we can write this term in terms of this number divided by a factor plus another number divided by the another factor. So over here, when I solve it up, you can get it, but it's very hard to determine these two terms. I know 5 times 7, and then if it's numbers, it's very easy, I mean, not very easy, you can just think and figure it out. But over here it is a bit hard, right? So you need to get these two numbers. We can do it by the next methods. And then once you have the numbers, then you can apply and solve. You can apply the integral separately because it's plus. But if it is multiplying, we do not have the formula. That is why we do this method over here. Now similarly, over here I have 35. I have done 5 and 7 plus these two numbers. I cannot understand which are these numbers, I need to solve it and now find it out. Now, how do we do it is very simple. You are manipulating this by trying to get the denominators equal. If all the denominators are equal, then we can equate the numerators. So what is missing over here? The common factor. Over here, x plus 1 is there. So multiply and divide by x minus 2. Basically, you're not doing any error. this is cancels and it's 1. This is the same thing. You're just manipulating over here and multiply the factor which is not there, that is x minus 2 divided by x minus 2, and b times x plus 1 divided by x plus 1. You can see we have just multiplied the unknown factors. Now look at the denominators. They are all same. The denominators and the numerators can be added up. Now we can equate 6x equals a times x minus 2 plus b times x plus 1. Now over here, what you need to do is take the x values. This x, take x plus 1, take 1 to the other side, it will be x equals negative 1. So in order to find a and b, put the negative 1, x equals negative 1, and solve. Over here, wherever x is there, you should put negative 1 and solve. You will get a as 2. So now you have found the a value. And what next? You need to put x as 2 over here for the next b value. Solve it, you will get the b value, that is 4. So this is how we can find the a and b. And now we can rewrite this fraction. The given one is equal to this. All this method is not of integration. It is just to rewrite this. Integral of this is equal to integral of this. Now I can easily solve it, right? I know 2 divided by x plus 1 integral will be 2 into natural logarithm of x plus 1 plus c. Now here you do the same thing, 4 natural logarithm um, x minus 2 plus c. So this is why we do all this. Then we can integrate it. So this is basically the partial fraction expansion. You're not doing the integral over here, but this is the step. Then we have to integrate it. So now over here, if you're looking into this problem, all you need to do is, see, first rewrite the denominator into two terms and then write a and b. Now, which is the term that is not there? Multiply up and down over here. Same thing with b. X plus 1 is there, so you have to multiply up and down. Multiply and divide by x minus 1. Now, the numerators are all same, isn't it? X minus 5 over here, x minus 1, x plus 1. Same thing over here. And now one more thing. How we got this x plus 1, x minus 1 is by solving this denominator. X square minus 1. You can either use calculator, or it is like a square minus b square is a plus b, a minus b. Or you can do the mod phi 3 in calculator and solve. Now here, this is the numerator. You can equate the numerator. Why? Because the denominators are all same. So equate the numerators, you will get this. Now over here, substitute x value as 1. And then you can find the a value and put it as minus 1 and find the b value. Now you can write the given term over here as these two terms. Now just integrate this. You can't integrate the left side because denominator is multiplying. We don't have a formula. But over here, right side, it's the same thing. These both are equal, isn't it? Now integrate it. It will be negative 2. Only 1 by x plus minus 1. It is natural logarithm magnitude of x minus 1. The same thing over here. Whenever we have 1 by x, we know it is ln or ln or natural logarithm x. So this is how we solve it. Now that's the answers. Also, you can apply the calculator method even over here. I'll just quickly do it. We have done it a while ago. We did it in the last video in detail. So please refer to the previous video or the link. I have put a description. I have put a link to the video in the description, which teaches you in different types of problems how we can directly solve the calculator method. Please refer that as well. Now over here, when you're evaluating, first thing you should assume a x value. Make sure the x value will not make this terms negative. So if you take 1, it is not possible. This will be undefined and over here it's negative, it's wrong. So take more than 1 and don't take even 5 because over here you'll get 0. So try to take a value which is, which will yield a proper value, proper answer. So I will take 3 over here. That's fine. It will fit over here and over here. So I will assume x to be 3, or you can take 5, 6, 7, 8, anything. But just that will take a lot of time to calculate. That's why. It will be quick, but it's better to take a smaller value, which will fit all the boxes. Now, instead of x, I put 3 minus 5 divided by 3 square minus 1. And what is the answer? I got negative 1 by 4. That is equal to negative 0.25. So this is the answer. You can check SD. Now, all I need to do over here is same thing, but with definite derivative. So all I have to do is write it as it is, natural logarithm alpha x minus 1, close the bracket. Now plus 3 natural logarithm alpha x plus 1, close the bracket, and then c is the constant, it will be 0, so don't write it. And now write x value. Again, I'll remind you, don't put x over here as 3, you will get an error. You must put the x value over here as 3. And what is the answer? It is negative 0.25. Only one answer will give you the correct answer, and this is the correct one. So in other options can be eliminated because they will not give you negative 2.5, 0.25, they'll give you something else. Only one will be correct. So this is how you can easily solve it. Please do try it by yourself and then check the answers. All the answers over here have been shown. So please refer them. But first do it by yourself, check it. If you're doing the calculator method, you can just double check it with the answers, check it, and you can do it. So these are all the answers. You can pause it and you can go through them. The topic number 10 is on separable differential equations. Now, separable, as the name says, you need to separate them. The topic 10, it's in part A. It's a very simple and basic one over here. All you need to do is figure out whether they can be separated or no. Let's look into this problem over here. See, all you have to aim to try to do is separate the x terms and the y terms. You can see there is y dash. Take this cos y to the other side. Now it will be y dash divided by cos y. Over here you only have x. Numbers doesn't matter. It should be only x and only y. What does y dash mean? Y dash is dy by dx. Now in this, keep the dy to one side and dx to the other side. So dy by cos y equals 3x plus 1 dx. Now this is separated. So this is a separable differential equation. Not all the time they are separatable. Now look at this term. Think for a while. You might just think, okay, take this y to the other side and it'll be y dash divided by cos y. Bring the y to the other side, minus y equals 3x. But is it okay? No, because dy by dx, then cos y minus y. Now, how do you remove this to the other side? It's not possible. You need to make the common different and there will be a x and y term together. It is not possible. Another way to check it is, this is dy by dx. So take dx to the other side. It will be dy over here divided by cos y. Cos y is equal to 3x plus y dx. Now when you multiply inside, you will have y dx. There are various ways to check that this is not differentiable because you have these terms together. So remember, it should be smooth and easy to move to other terms, and you must all have in multiplication. Or if it's an addition, it's fine, but all the terms must be together, separated. Sorry, y and x should be separated. Here, even if you try anyway, it's not possible. So it's not separate. It's not separable differential equation. Same way, you can try the other ones. Over here, all the answers are written. So please do check them and then see whether they are correct. Try to solve them by yourself and then check for the answers.